Hey Richie, what's up? I just vibes in. Can you hear me? Just a beautiful day in St. Lucia, the island of St. Lucia. I was just chilling by the river, thinking about what I could probably talk about, share some of my perspectives or experiences. Maybe you could. Wow, that was amazing. Good thing I wasn't under there. I could have got me killed. But is there anything you want to talk about? What do you think about the scenery? Isn't it just beautiful? Richie Alsberg 02. Where are you from, Richie? Good afternoon. Hey, since I have an audience, there's something I wanted to talk about. And it was concerning real religion and the difference between real religion and fake religion. And religion isn't really something that you join. It's something that real religion is something that is part of you. As a living entity, you have a soul, and you naturally have that connection with the Most High. And when we have regained our connection with the Most High, the Supreme Being, we naturally would no longer experience death, disease, or any kind of suffering. But pretentious religion, or religion that is fake, there is, regardless of how beneficial it may be in terms of temporary benefits, it does not solve the real problems of life, because at some point you still may have to die, you may still have to get sick, and it doesn't really, that's why it's what makes it fake. I don't profess to be the most advanced person. I like to watch conscious people from the conscious community, and their lives. A lot of it I agree with, some I don't, but I don't think a lot of what religion in general and a lot of people in the conscious community offer could really solve all the real problems of life. And I hear a lot about New Earth, 5D consciousness, you know, calling on the ancestors and all of that. All that might be great. And there's a lot of things that I probably don't understand, and I probably need to research to fully understand it. But I do not think that any of these processes or really ultimately solve all the actual yearnings of the soul, which is to connect back to the Most High and to be free from suffering. Because we could go to the higher planets, we could develop all the mystic powers and be able to see past, present, future, astral travel, all that stuff, but but we would still have to die. We would still get sick. We would still have to come back in another body. And I think any process which could offer you that that ability to be free from any type of suffering is the real religion. And the only person who could have could give you that gift of true happiness, which is unlimited, is the supreme being, the Most High, and I believe that he is Krishna. I know him to be Krishna. A lot of people profess the Most High to be an energy, which is also an aspect of himself. He has the impersonal aspect of him. But I also believe he's a person as well. And many people feel that that's limiting God, but the reality is, why can't God be a person? Why should he be limited to just an energy? Especially if we have a personality, we have likes, dislikes. Why do we think that God cannot have these? And we cannot really gain happiness just by pleasing our senses, our ego, our false egos, because it is in our nature to serve, because we get even on a mundane perspective, we get pleasure from serving others, from serving our family, our boss, our nation, all these things. It gives us pleasure. It's just like a rich man. He just has his wealth, but he can't, use it for his family or his friends. It doesn't bring him as much joy. And we being, part of the Most High, we are actually part of him. While we may have our own individual, egos and our own individual personalities and everything, we are still part of him. Simultaneously one and different from him. We still, what gives us joy is not the fleshly bodies that we temporarily take on, but it's actually our connection with him. That's why they call it yoga. Yoga means connecting connecting to the Most High. And it's this connection that really gives us um, unlimited pleasure, unlimited happiness. And that's what everybody's looking for, really. They don't know it, you know. We try to look try to get that pleasure through vices, you know, women, sex, alcohol, all these things, you know. But we're really looking for the Most High, you know. But we experience this reality because really we desired to be separate from Him. Everything is really born of desire, you know. Because for some reason or the other, we desire to be separate from the Most High. We live in this reality that is so full of suffering. It may appear beautiful, you know, you're looking at nature and everything, but it's actually a very dangerous place. It's dangerous at every step. Anything could happen, you know. You just saw the coconut fall into the water. I could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time and it could hit me on my head and I'll be dead. I could cross the road, a car could hit me. We may be under the illusion that it's a nice place and it's safe, but at any moment anything could happen. And the only reason why it has any kind of pleasure or bliss or any kind of happiness, temporary happiness, is because the Most High is it is because of the presence of the Most High. It is what that gives it beauty. But otherwise, everything would just be dead matter. It is the soul, our soul, that gives us the body life. And as soon as the soul leaves, the body starts to decay. And the Most High is witnessing every action, you know, that we partake in, you know. And every action we take is creating another body in our next life, you know, through the subtle body. And we just continue the cycle over and over until we desire we desire to go back to our original spiritual form, which is eternally serving the Most High in the spiritual world. So even if we are may choose to live in a reality which has no creator, has no supreme being, you know, we are still indirectly under His control. We are still indirectly being controlled by the forces of nature, our senses, you know. We may just have these desires, uncontrollable desires, that they're not really coming from us, you know. And I think we have this illusion of freedom, and it's really not free, you know. It's all cool to, you know, have mystical powers and be able to see past, present, and future, and all of that. That's great, you know. But if we think that we would have these, we could have these faculties and feel that we're still independent, you know, at some point in the future, you know, we will be disappointed, we will be frustrated. You know, it's just like all the gods who live for thousands and thousands of years. At some point, they have to go, they have to die, they have to leave their post, and it's a very painful experience for them, you know. And it's even there's actually really no difference between pain and pleasure in the material world, because they all come to an end, and there's no point in being very anxious to experience pleasure or disappointed in difficult situations, because they come and go like the seasons. But what really gives the soul real pleasure is actual devotion to the Most High, to the Supreme Being, knowing that we live a life that is pleasing to Him. And that's really the whole point, you know. It doesn't matter whether you are the king or the demigod or the biggest person on the planet, you know. If you have no relationship with the Most High, your future is still dark, because at some point it all comes to an end, and the most pleasurable experiences can be very hellish, you know. And at the same time, one may be in the most difficult situation, but because he knows how to satisfy the needs of his soul, you know, he's unaffected by the ups and downs of this material world. And so we get caught up in a lot of, you know, the distractions of this world that kind of block our vision in terms of seeing reality for what it really is. We don't really know who we are. We just see ourselves as this body. We don't see ourselves as spiritual beings, you know, and we get absorbed in a lot of things that take us to the darkest regions of the of reality, of the universe, you know, or the universes, simply because we have lost touch of who is the Most High, where everything emanates from. And it's not a religion which doesn't, any religion or perspective or philosophy which does not is not able to reconnect you to the Most High and truly liberate you from all suffering is really, you know, pretentious. It's fake. A building or an organization which does not help you to do that, something that is innate within you, it's cheating. And that's really what I wanted to speak about today, because a lot of people offer so much knowledge and offer so much information, detailed information, but it doesn't seem it can offer you guidance in terms of relieving all the suffering. And that's really my goal in terms of trying to in life, to understand, to try to connect with the Most High. Everything else is irrelevant, or should, but not necessarily relevant, but should be stepping stones that would facilitate that. Otherwise it comes and goes, and that's what I'm really seeing. Like, people want to be part of a group, part of an organization, and sometimes it may be offering some benefit, whether that may be, it might even have the all the tools to get you where you need to be, but there may not be a genuine desire by the people to truly liberate their followers or their congregation towards the Most High. Because like I was saying, there are